Well, hello everybody, this is David Bianco. Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you all for your support, especially on these most recent videos that we've done on touring the Denver pressing plant, the first one in Colorado called Paramount Pressing. And while we were out there, we took another special trip nearby in Boulder, which is just west of Denver, up along the mountain range. Beautiful, beautiful area. And the reason for that little side trip was to visit PS Audio. Now, you may know Paul McGowan. He's been around a long time. He does a lot of videos for his channel for PS Audio and gives great tips and advice. More importantly, what we really saw there was a really well-run company with a family atmosphere, a lot of design capability and build capability, and really a new way of looking at customer support. Support for the product through its life. If you want to upgrade it, you could do that and get credit for the equipment that you're turning in, even if it's not PS Audio equipment. And the ability to test your equipment in your home for 30 days to hear how it sounds and see if it gives you exactly what you're listening for, not looking for. So it really is a great experience. All-American company doing the work there in Boulder and providing you great products with great support. So it's great to see a company like this thriving over time. And Paul, in his infinite wisdom, has also got into another project called Octave Records, which you can see on his PS Audio YouTube channel. You can see several series in there. I think the third one is the last one I saw of him showing Octave Records. So he's branching out into other areas as well and bringing the music to you in a way that is more different than anybody I've seen as far as customer support and service. And that's a great thing to see. So we were shown around the facility by James Herod, and he's going to show us around, and you can join me on this tour. And at the end, a special little surprise of going into a mixing studio for multi-channel recording. So stay tuned for that as well. Let's take the tour. Okay, we're here at PS Audio in Boulder, Colorado, which is just west of Denver. And we're going to talk to James here, who's going to show us around, show what they do here for PS Audio, Paul McGowan's place. So welcome. James, thanks. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah, here we start out in the engineering wing back here. So we're doing everything from the hardware development, software development, mechanical. I mean, yeah, you're kind of seeing this.
He doesn't have a mic on, so just so you know, I didn't give it to him yet.
Kind of a cubicle jungle over here, but
it's engineers. We understand.
Hey, that's it, man. That's it. And we got some prototyping going on. Yeah, new exciting stuff. We got Mr. Barry in there. He's the director of engineering. And Ms. Terry in there. That's Paul's wife. Head of HR.
Hello, hey, Terry. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Hi.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Talking about 3D printed stuff. It seems there's just a bunch of random toys around the office.
Of course, you gotta have a toy,
right? I mean, that's
you can't just do business stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of chassis development, right? All that fun stuff.
Oh my gosh!
It's the toys here and there as well.
There you go.
And we got the big man himself, Mr. Paul, his office.
Okay.
Obviously not in there right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where he's, working hard, typing away emails. And,
answer questions and.
That's it. His little photo booth in here.
For product.
Turn on the lights. Exactly. Yeah.
Gotta make it look good. There we go. That's cool.
You kind of get a look in there. Yeah. But yeah, he's the one. He's a huge photographer as well. So he'll do all of the pictures for the products and make them look good.
Good.
Back here.
Some patents, I guess, huh?
Patents. So those were actually for some of the very first regenerators that we released. So these specifically were some of the most impressive, and we were really doing some big stuff, exciting stuff for the regenerators, and then some other smaller stuff here. Some new wave DAC sprouted in the whole perfect wave line up there.
Okay.
JT. Sorry, homie. Oh, excuse me. And here's the lab back here. So this is where we're doing a bunch of R&D stuff. We're doing a bunch of repairs for stuff that either fails in production or fails in the field. A bunch of warranty repair, all that stuff is going on back here. And we got the AP tests, so we can actually check to make sure, everything's functioning perfectly, inputs, outputs, all within our spec, and then also making sure that the channels are within, reasonable bounds. So, all good stuff. Larry, what's up, man?
Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome.
Good.
How are you?
Good.
A little tour going
Where are you
on.
guys from?
Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dallas area. He's from Lubbock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it too.
Yeah.
All right. Hello.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
welcome.
Got a YouTube channel, talks about audio and that, so I wanted to visit while I was here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Well,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah,
Cool
thank you.
stuff. This is Larry here. Looks like a NPC over there?
Yeah, an older product that just warranty stuff, and just as long as we have parts and not corrosion or burnt board, we can give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so that's what we're doing.
What does that product do?
This converts vinyl to digital.
Ah, okay. Analog to digital. Okay.
Yep. And that was a good thing for the record collectors. That
Sure.
you can
That's
say,
us.
you could save your whole
Collection. Yeah,
correct.
Sure. Right.
That's the idea.
That's it.
And it's a one of a kind product. Actually, I don't see many of these guys on the market. From phono to digital.
Both PCM and DSD.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
you can actually
really?
convert your vinyl to
So
DSD.
does it have a phono preamp in it as well?
It does.
Okay.
It's with phono pre as well.
Yep. But matter of fact, I haven't done another one of these products. And it's like the demand is not so much there. I think that's why, but it certainly was there for a time for those who have it and know about it. They're like, there's a guy down in Florida who does that. And it's like, boy, he has his business. He has like 2 of them. Like that's what he kind of
Converts them.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs.
That's it.
Just like Paul.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Larry.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, this place is looking a lot cleaner, actually. So this seems to be a complete disaster with just different storage. And, but now it's actually a decent looking workshop right now. So it doesn't get used a whole lot because, we do a lot of 3D printing. And then, in all honesty, this just gets used for more personal projects a little more often.
So prototyping was kind of done?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's exactly it. And then this is a cool little area right here I'll show you. So these are just some homemade resistors that we use for testing. So, each one of these boxes, it has just a massive resistor in there and a bunch of fans. And we put big loads on the amplifiers to make sure they're working perfectly, and of course the regions as well. So each one of these will be roughly a 300 watt load, whereabouts. So we can get everything up to temperature, start cooking it, get it really hot, and then make sure it doesn't get too hot. So, we got a cool area back here. So this is where we bring in all of our trade-ins that folks send us. So you'll see some old Nakamichi gear back there, NAD, and then of course all of our PS stuff. There's even a PS4 preamp up down there. So a lot of stuff just coming in for trade-in, and then we'll scavenge parts from these. We'll pull some stuff out, and then all the non-PS stuff we'll send over to TMR. The local guys, they're one of the biggest resellers of high-end audio.
Oh, really?
They just happen to be about 10 miles east of us. So
Okay.
great guys to work with, and they do all the reselling for us. And move on back to first warehouse back here. So you get an exclusive look at some prototypes that we have back in the day. Music server down there that was never released. We had a little device. This was probably 15 years ago, but it was expected to be sort of like a replacement to the HomePod. So you just plug your iPod into it, and it had a really high-end DAC and all that good stuff. Never released, but just cool to see some of that stuff.
Probably relinquished the port style.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, that's exactly it.
They don't want you making money on them.
And some of the sausage being made back here. So this is a little bit of just prototyping the speakers that we did, some pilot units. But yeah, just sort of almost looks like a speaker amusement park back here. I mean, it's crazy. We got giant 18-inch woofers over here, 12-inch woofers. So just all the R&D stuff, and then we have we like to test the tweeters in this box right over here.
Ah, okay.
This massive guy. I think Paul eventually wants us to develop a subwoofer, so we're just doing some different R&D projects for that. And you're excited. We got our bookshelf speaker coming out very soon. Stand mount, however people like to say it, but it's our little two-way speaker that we're coming out with next month, actually. So hopefully hitting the market late July. Everything's going well, measuring really well, and sounding fantastic. So, and this will retail with the stand at 4K, whereas the smallest floor mount or floor standard that we have is 10K. So I'm really excited to get into the floor mount, floor standard market there.
Yeah.
We got our second warehouse back here. So this is more just, finished goods, all packed up, tested, ready to ship out. We got a lot of different pallets being staged for international shipments. Multiple boxes a day go in retails or in the States. So shipping all over the country.
So where's the assembly of your product done?
Right here, actually.
Okay, we're heading there. Huh?
Almost, yeah. So this is the production area back here. We bring in all of the raw metal. All the boards come from, we have two main vendors, one up in Longmont, so just up the road a little ways, and then out in Kansas. So we have the board manufacturer, they're the ones that actually populate the boards and send them in here, and then we populate all of the empty chassis, all the metal. And then we got the two test stations back here. We got the AP test over there for more like digital stuff testing, and then the analog test for the backup review. But this is the main station to test. Both the regions, the bigger amplifiers, and then all the digital stuff. It's like might be a phono pre right there, actually.
Phono pre, which one is that?
That's our Stellar phono. So this guy is an exceptional phono pre. Has been selling really well for us for quite a while. Got some really good reviews from the likes of Michael Fremer, and I mean, this is, for the price, this is hard to beat. It's a really nice phono pre. And then some more regions back here. So it looks like P15s over here. So, and then this is probably what kept the company afloat for, back in the late 90s to early 2000s when the company wasn't doing terribly well. Paul came out with the very first region, the P300, and that guy sold really well, and then it just kind of took off from there. And not a whole lot of companies do this. There's a lot of conditioners out there, but this brings in your incoming AC, converts it to DC, cleans it all up, and then outputs again as AC. So really good. Good for a high-end system. If you have dirty power, irregular voltage, this will keep that voltage rock solid at 120, and then the output impedance is extreme well. So these guys are spectacular.
So what is input-wise on this? What do you just bring it out of a 120 that you have?
120. Yep.
Just okay.
Yeah, 120. This is a P15, so it runs on a 15 amp, but we do have a bigger, badder P20, and that'll run on 20 amp.
20 amp. Okay. All right. Cool.
So Brian over there, super important job to make sure everything is looking pretty clean, tested, and has all the correct stuff in there, right remote, all that stuff. So kind of his eyes are the last ones on the gear, so it was important to make sure it's looking good. So we'll move on upstairs. There's a cool little museum piece. These are Arnie Nudell's last, kind of his last hurrah. Kind of coined the name the IRS Killer, but he was working on these as sort of his last, big speaker that he was going to design and work on. But he sadly passed away before it was a complete design. So they sounded good. They made music, but there were some tweaks that needed to be done. There was an active servo woofer there on the side. That needed some tweaking. The overall crossover for the mids and tweeters, that needed a little bit of crossover tweaking. But the interesting thing is you actually needed 3 amplifiers to drive each speaker. So it's definitely quite the feat to actually have these in your system. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. They're also a dipole, so really funky design. Definitely aesthetically pretty funky as well. But
Yeah, guitar case kind of.
exactly, yeah. They sounded great, man. They really did.
It's not quite ready for prime time.
Not yet. No, maybe eventually. But yeah, they're special for sure.
Cool.
So we got other prototype speakers that we ran with for a little bit. You'll see the brown and black ones. We ran those at I believe it was RMAF 2018. I believe. So we tracked those all the way down to Denver. Showing those RMAF is a very rudimentary early idea for a speaker that we were going to run with. But as you can tell, so many changes have been made. And there's a different white prototype over there. The feedback from there wasn't amazing. I guess they didn't really like that. It's aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Still kind of that woofer on the side we decided to end up with. And we have the museum back over here, all the way starting from the original photo pre that was being manufactured in Paul and Stan's garage. All the way
What year
up
was
to
that, dude?
1974.
Wow.
So yeah.
Just getting out of high school.
Yeah, company's been around 50 years. So we're actually hitting our 50-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Early prototypes in Sprout. Photo pre in there, analog pre, DAC, amplifier. And then that first region I told you, this puppy right here.
300.
P300. It could handle about 280 watts continuous, and actually started out about this short, but because of the active circuitry in there, it got really hot, even at 300 watts. So it just got continuously longer and longer, more extruded aluminum, and finally landed at that size.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw that video. His name is Ken Fritz, I believe, the one that just passed away. His $1 million audiophile system. He actually had speakers very similar to the IRS. He just passed away. I mean, there's a really famous YouTube video about his system, but he had a few P300s in there actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, the legendary IRS 5s here. Incredible speaker. Only 58 pairs ever made, and back in '85. So an older. We use these as a reference for, let's say, nearly 10 years, maybe a little bit under 10 years, but they were kind of what everything got that final test before we released it. So everything we could test it on these speakers to make sure that we like the sound and make sure that the product's worth actually releasing.
What are the ones behind it?
But that's the woofer section.
That's the woofer
So yeah,
section.
you got to have all 4 pieces.
Okay, because I was
going to
ask what the woofer was, because that was my
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly.
like Ribbon City. This is
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these guys, they sound fantastic. I just noticed they do tend to be a little bit more genre specific. So doing something like pop, country, rock, they're just a little bit too revealing and a little bit too big. The sound overall on the stage is just a little bit artificially big. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But if you feed the system orchestral or acoustic jazz, like combo, anything, big band jazz, it'll blow your mind away. It's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, throwing Led Zeppelin, it sounds good, it's fun, but it's it just sounds weird. It sounds artificial.
Yeah. Not all speakers sound good with everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Generally true.
Exactly. It's hard to do, man. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is eventually going to become a little living room setup where we have a nice little stereo, but for now it just ends up being a stage for some Paul's videos and just doing some other stuff. So right now I'm just sort of in flux, not really too much going on, but eventually the idea for this room is to be more of like a living room setup, less idealistic, less room treatment, all that stuff to give folks an idea of how a living room can sound just good.
Sure, exactly.
And somewhat similar idea back here. This room is still sort of in flux. We did have the IRS 5s in here for a couple of years. Did a lot of testing and whatnot for the new speakers, but as of now, we use the main room for everything. But you can still see some room treatment around. And, solo FR5, but it's a good sized room.
Yeah.
Now here's the main room. So this is the music room 1. This is where we do all of our demos, all of our final testing, all that stuff. And right now, coming off flagship, BHK 600s, FR30s, Mark II DAC. Gotta turn it down a little bit. I think they're testing some new gear, so I apologize. I can pause it for a second. But yeah, kind of help to give you. I can turn up the lights a little bit.
What kind of wattage is that running?
So each monoblock is 604. So you do have 600 watts. Actually, no, sorry, you have 1200 watts on tap if you need. So it's 608, and it doubles into 4. And the speakers run at 4 ohm, and they're a pretty rock solid 4 ohm load. So we got basically about 1200 watts each speaker on tap if we need. So it'll blow you away in here for sure. But we got all 4 models in here. The 5s, the little stand mount here.
Is the new one coming out?
The new one's coming out in next month. The 20s over here, and then the 10s. Which the 10s they're a decent sized speaker, but when you look at compare them to the 30s, they're pretty small. But even the bookshelf speakers, the output from them is so clean, is so crystal clear that in this room it sounds spectacular. Even the little bookshelves filling out this entire room is pretty impressive.
How low do those get, the bookshelf ones?
The bookshelf, gosh, I think they start to taper off at about 32 hertz.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So they'll get pretty low.
That's pretty good.
And I don't know if you caught that. They are a 2-way, but they have the passive radiator in the back.
In the back, okay.
So really good. Helps with the bass response.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
And then the 30s have the passive radiator on the side.
Sides, yeah, I see that. Very nice.
And then right now, using the BHK 600, we have the 300s in the back, which aren't being used right now. They're about 308, and then the 600, of course, are 604.
A lot of power.
Plenty of power. Yeah,
Plenty of power.
absolutely.
Cool. Is that behind there? Is that like part of the room treatment?
It is. Yeah. Those are Paul's quadratic diffusers. So he's had those for years. We used those with the IRS system back in the old building, actually. So he's had those diffusers sitting behind his speakers for more than a decade. And then we got some absorption around here. You can tell immediately when you walk in this room, there's a lot more absorption compared to the other two rooms.
Yeah.
All the stuff in the ceiling
Pretty
as
dead.
well. And it's interesting, some of this stuff is DIY that we had our industrial designer do. He did the corner traps there, and then all these bass traps in the back as well. So most of these panels are from the store. Killer turntable, but you notice we don't even have a phone over here. So
Yeah. Very nice.
this week I can throw on some tunes if you guys want to have a listen.
Yeah, sure. So there you have PS Audio in a nutshell. As we were getting ready to leave, we went down to the main floor, and Paul McGowan was there in his office, and we met him. And he asked our tour guide, James, did you take him up to Gus's place? And I thought, wow, we're going to go have drinks. What's this about? Well, turns out Gus's place was up on the very top floor above where we had been. The only thing higher than this floor was the roof. And it was the mastering studio of Gus Skinnis, who has been legendary in multi-channel work for many decades, been involved heavily with Sony, worked for them, worked on DSD in its initial phases, and now is using that in his work with Paul at Octave Records, which is a special label that Paul has developed in a studio whereby artists actually can get the work done, and they can get it done at a very reasonable rate of cost and effort. And Paul has invested in this so that artists have an opportunity to get the best sounding records that they can. You can check that out at octave.com. But as it relates to this video, we took a little walking tour of Gus's place up there. Now, Gus himself unfortunately wasn't there, but we did get to see all of the gizmos, so to speak, the speakers and the mixing boards and the Studer tape machine that they had, and everything that's needed, and got to see some of Gus's awards and things that he's worked on as well. So for us, it was a great opportunity just to see in the flesh what it takes to do all this, and I can tell you, it's a very multifaceted in what it does and very much engineered. Gus has been a big proponent of DSD and its accuracy and ability, and I know we all are familiar to some degree about the use of DSD when it came to mobile fidelity, but of course it was introduced into actual CDs and SACDs in the later 90s and early 2000s, and then later was decided to be tried to be used as a source for being able to cut to vinyl. Now, of course, DSD and any digital format also has the ability to put things in ones and zeros and be saved over time, as opposed to where we have the analog tapes and the wear that occurs over time, and all of the efforts that it takes to maintain that from a temperature control, humidity control, handling standpoint, which is kind of what made all of that come out of Pandora's box when it came to making those 40,000 Michael Jackson Thriller one-steps, which kind of exposed all that. But back to DSD for this, we know that there are a lot of great DVDs out there, SACDs, Blu-rays that give us multi-channel. I got this one recently, and I have many, many more. This is the Doors' Greatest Hits. So if you want to hear multi-channel, above a 4-channel 4.0, which is what Quad gave you back with LPs, you've got to go to a digital format. So we're thankful for the tour that we got of his equipment and what was going on, and just wanted to share that with you. So as always, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, clicking on the bell for the all option. And again, likes or thumbs up are appreciated for the algorithm, as are your comments. Always welcome to get those to respond to. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on our next Safe and Sound Texas audio excursion. Take care, everybody.